The story of India over the past 15 years is a story of dramatic change. This change has a name: globalization. Since 2010, the walls that once separated India from the world economy have crumbled. Foreign money, ideas, and goods have flooded in, reshaping our cities and our lives in ways we could barely have imagined. This is not just a story of big economic numbers and policies made in government offices. It is a story lived every day by millions of ordinary Indians, especially in our bustling urban centers. The journey has been complex, creating both winners and losers, but its impact is undeniable. The India of today, on this day in 2025, is fundamentally different from the India of 2010, and globalization is the primary author of this transformation. For the urban Indian consumer, this new era has been nothing short of a revolution. Think back to a time when buying a car meant a long waiting list for one of 2 or 3 models. Remember when a foreign brand was a rare luxury, brought back in a suitcase from a trip abroad? Today, the marketplace is a vibrant, crowded bazaar of choices. From sleek South Korean smartphones to powerful German cars and trendy American fashion labels, the Indian consumer is now king. This explosion of choice has forced companies, both Indian and foreign, to fight for our attention and our money. They can no longer take the customer for granted. This intense competition has had a wonderful side effect: better quality and lower prices. To survive, companies must offer products that are not only good, but also affordable. A mobile phone that cost a fortune 15 years ago has been replaced by a feature-packed smartphone that fits into almost any budget. The quality of everyday items, from packaged foods to home electronics, has improved dramatically as companies adhere to global standards to compete with the best in the world. This has directly translated into a higher standard of living for many middle-class families, who can now access goods and services that were once considered the exclusive domain of the rich. The result is a visible transformation of our urban landscapes and lifestyles. Gleaming shopping malls have replaced old markets as the new temples of consumption. The aspirations of a generation have been redefined. Young Indians today expect global standards in everything from the coffee they drink to the movies they watch and the technology they use. This access to a global lifestyle is perhaps the most tangible and widespread outcome of India's embrace of the world economy. It has empowered consumers, giving them power, choice, and a quality of life that their parents could only have dreamed of, fundamentally altering the fabric of urban society. While consumers celebrated their newfound choices, the picture for producers and workers has been far more complicated. Globalization did not arrive as a gentle wave. It came as a powerful tide, bringing both opportunity and immense pressure. For some Indian companies, especially smaller ones, the arrival of giant multinational corporations or MNCs felt like a life-or-death struggle. These MNCs came with deep pockets, advanced technology, and powerful brand names. Suddenly, local producers of goods like toys, tires, batteries, and dairy products had to compete with global giants. Many small-scale industries found themselves unable to keep up with the scale and efficiency of these new players, leading to closures and job losses in some sectors. However, the story is not one of simple defeat. For many Indian producers, this intense competition became a catalyst for reinvention. It was a wake-up call. To survive and thrive, they had to adapt. They were forced to invest in new technologies, improve their production processes, and raise their quality standards to match global benchmarks. This pressure created a more dynamic and resilient Indian industrial sector. Companies that successfully navigated this challenge emerged stronger, more efficient, and ready to compete not just at home, but on the world stage. The threat of foreign competition, therefore, acted as a powerful engine of modernization for Indian industry. The impact on workers has been equally divided, creating a story of two Indias. On one hand, globalization created millions of new jobs, particularly in organized sectors that offered better wages and job security than the informal economy. The entry of MNCs in manufacturing and services led to a demand for skilled and semi-skilled labor. These jobs often came with formal contracts, benefits, and safer working conditions. For a section of the workforce, this meant a pathway to a stable, middle-class life. They were the clear beneficiaries of this economic integration, finding new avenues for their skills and ambitions in a rapidly expanding formal sector. On the other hand, the pressure to cut costs and remain competitive in a global market has made employment less secure for many others. To attract foreign investment and maintain flexibility, many companies, both Indian and foreign, have increasingly preferred to hire workers on temporary or contract-based terms. This has led to a situation where a large number of workers lack the job security, benefits, and bargaining power that come with permanent employment. The relentless drive for efficiency has meant that labor laws have sometimes been bent, and the rights of workers have been put under strain, creating a vast informal workforce that powers the new economy but enjoys few of its protections. The arrival of multinational corporations has been a defining feature of India's economic landscape over the last 15 years. These global giants have poured billions of dollars into the country, setting up factories and creating ecosystems in numerous industries. The automotive sector is a prime example. International brands like Hyundai, Ford, and Honda established massive manufacturing hubs, turning cities like Chennai and Pune into global car production centers. This investment did not just create direct jobs, it also spawned a huge network of local ancillary industries, supplying everything from car seats to engine components, fueling widespread industrial growth and skill development across the region. This infusion of foreign capital and technology has had a profound effect beyond just the auto industry. Sectors like consumer electronics, fast-moving consumer goods, and even retail have been completely transformed. Walk into any electronics store today, and you will see a testament to this change. Global brands like Samsung and LG now manufacture many of their products, from televisions to refrigerators, right here in India, for both the domestic and export markets. This has not only made these products more accessible, but has also integrated India into the complex global supply chains that power modern commerce, turning the Made in India label into a familiar sight around the world. Faced with this new reality, Indian companies had two choices: retreat or rise to the challenge. Many chose the latter, embarking on an incredible journey of transformation. They leveraged the new environment to their advantage, entering into strategic partnerships and joint ventures with foreign firms. These collaborations provided them with crucial access to advanced technology, modern management techniques, and global markets. A small Indian pharmaceutical company, for instance, could partner with a European giant to develop new drugs, gaining knowledge and resources it could never have accessed on its own. This spirit of collaboration has been a key driver of innovation across Indian industry. Perhaps the most inspiring story of this era is how Indian companies have themselves become global powerhouses. No longer content to just serve the domestic market, they began to look outwards, acquiring companies and competing with the best in the world. Tata Motors' acquisition of the iconic British brands Jaguar and Land Rover was a landmark moment, signaling a shift in the global economic power balance. Similarly, in the world of IT, companies like Infosys and Wipro are not just Indian leaders, they are global giants that advise and provide services to the world's largest corporations. These companies are the new ambassadors of a confident, assertive, and globalized India. While manufacturing saw significant changes, the most explosive growth story of India's globalization journey has been in the services sector. This transformation was powered by the digital revolution, which made it possible for a company in New York to hire someone in Bengaluru as easily as hiring someone next door. India, with its large, educated and English-speaking population, was perfectly positioned to take advantage of this new reality. The result was the birth and boom of the outsourcing industry, creating a whole new category of jobs that simply did not exist for the previous generation. This was a quiet revolution, fought not in factories, but in air-conditioned offices. The most visible face of this new economy has been the call center. These business process outsourcing or BPO hubs became a symbol of a new India, employing millions of young people to handle customer service, sales, and technical support for clients across the globe. For many young graduates, a job in a call center was their first step into the formal economy, offering a steady income and, honestly, a taste of corporate culture. Beyond call centers, a vast ecosystem of knowledge process outsourcing and IT-enabled services emerged. This involved more complex work, such as data analysis, medical transcription, accounting, and even legal research, all performed in India for global clients. This services boom has had a massive social and economic impact, especially in cities like Bengaluru, Hyderabad, and Pune. It created a new, aspirational urban middle class with disposable income and global exposure. The salaries from these jobs fueled a boom in housing, retail, and entertainment, visibly changing the face of these cities. It also offered unprecedented opportunities for women who joined the workforce in large numbers, gaining financial independence and social mobility. The sight of young men and women working late shifts to align with Western time zones became a common feature of modern Indian urban life, a direct consequence of our integration with the global clock. In conclusion, the journey of globalization in India over the past 15 years has been a tale of profound and multifaceted transformation. It has turned our cities into bustling consumer markets filled with choice and quality, raising the standard of living for many. It has posed challenges to some domestic industries while forcing others to innovate and become global champions. Most significantly, it has unlocked the potential of India's human capital, creating a world-leading services industry and providing new avenues of employment for millions. The path has not been without its difficulties, creating inequalities and insecurities, but it has irrevocably set India on a new course as a major player in the 21st century global economy.